Madam, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon. I'm audible ना, व्यवस्थित आहे ना?
व्यवस्थित आहे अगदी. आणि माझा पण आवाज येतोय ना?
अगदी छान, व्यवस्थित.
1-2 मिनिटं आपण थांबू, लोक जुळत आहेत आणि
हो द्या.
आपलं सुरू करू मॅडम.
येस चालेल.
हो. आणि देशपांडे सर्व काही जुळणार आहे. कमल सिंग मॅडम जुळले आहे.
अरे वा ओके.
आणि आमचे रमाशास्त्री डी.बाटूचे व्हाईस चान्सलर आहेत, ते पण जुळणार आहेत.
अरे वा व्हेरी नाईस.
डी.बाटूचे रमाशास्त्री आहेत ना व्हाईस चान्सलर. राजन वेलुकर आहे. राजन वेलुकर.
अरे वा व्हेरी गुड. बरं झालं तुम्ही सांगितलं. मी जरा
नाही आता म्हणजे सगळ्या सर्कल मध्ये व्हीसी सर्कल मध्ये बरीच ओळख आहे ना मॅडम सगळ्यांची.
हा तुम्ही इतक्या वर्षांपासून करताय. बरोबर आहे.
आणि त्याच्यामुळे या सगळ्या विषयांचं आपण लेक्चर घेणार आहे. येवले सर येणार. आता काम आहे म्हणले भाऊ काय करतात. हो
ओके
बघू आता. तुमच्या सगळ्यांचे आशीर्वाद आहे, कृपा आहे मॅडम, बाकी काय.
नाही
करतोय आपलं. हो
नाही, करणं हेच खूप महत्वाचं आहे. करणारेच कमी आहेत सध्या.
So I heartily welcome to all of the audience who are online here for webinar of Dr. Mrunalini Phadnis Madam, Vice Chancellor, Punyashlok Ahilya Devi Holkar, Solapur University, Solapur. Madam, welcome. Good afternoon, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
The topic of madam's webinar is impact of COVID-19 on higher education. As we all are connected with the education system, so Vice Chancellor Madam is going to throw light on this issue, and her words of wisdom, we will accept it. Before that, in a nutshell, within 1 minute, I will introduce Madam with the customary of the event. Madam is having 34 years of teaching experience as well as 34 years of research experience. She has published 270 research papers and her 19 books are also published. More than 150 seminars and conferences she has attended. She is a member of NAC peer team. And at the most, to the addition, she is a painter, she is an artist. She does painting, filament painting and shade painting. Her exhibitions are arranged in various major cities in the country and abroad the country also. She is member of various committees appointed by state government and UGC. If I am going to introduce Madam, this webinar will be the short to introduce her. So I think this is in nutshell. I have introduced today's speaker, and now I will hand over the podium to Dr. Mrunalini Phadnis Madam. Madam, over to you.
Yes, sir. Namaste and thank you sir, very much for my kind introduction.
Yes, madam.
So at this outset of the webinar, I would like to say that it is very important topic we are going to talk on or discuss on this, that impact of COVID-19 on higher education sector. So for in this occasion, first of all, I would like to say a big thank you to Vidarbha Institute of Technology, Nagpur, and Dr. S.S. Uttarwar has organized it very graciously. So really, it's a pleasure to be with you all.
Thank you,
All
madam.
high dignitaries I can see over here, all the ex-vice chancellors are also there. So big namaste to from my side and all the participants for this webinar. Uh, this is the topic which is really everyone is thinking that what will happen under COVID-19 and after COVID-19. Actually, I should say COVID is of course not a good thing which is happening in all over the world. But along with this, we are now adjusted, and we have to say lot many positive things which we can take from this COVID-19. COVID has shown us many ways, positive ways, very creative ways. And I think this online, which we are only doing a day-to-day basis, this is also a big creativity because of COVID we are doing it. Otherwise, we have never thought that every day we will enjoy with the webinars. So naturally, this is a big U-turn or the turning period in higher education. And therefore, online education is the you can say is the way out which we have accepted from COVID-19. So everywhere there was a question mark, still it was a question mark, how it will reach to all students, all stakeholders. But definitely because of the smartphones and all these setups, we have definitely reached to a very positive field where we can go for online education, online training also, as well as some of the issues which is related to examination. So this is the thing which we are going ahead with all these issues and understanding of so many things. Maybe some limitations are there. Everything has its own limitation. But still, in the period which we are moving, this is the best alternative in higher education, which is all much very important from the point of view of teachers, students, researchers, and you name it, everywhere it is very important. Now I would like to focus upon how we can develop the understanding between teachers and students, the relationship between two teachers and students. Nowadays, in NAC language, we say it's a mentor-mentee relationship. And when we are talking about this relationship, definitely it was more closer when it was offline. But when it is online, I think some of the students and teachers have come out with a very nice type of rapport where they are understanding each other from the point of view of discussing online and various subjects with the help of PPT, YouTube, and all these things, the tools which they are using. Definitely, it is very important from the point of view of teaching and learning. So this mentor-mentee relationship may be one-to-one or maybe in a group, maybe from the long distance, but it is definitely important from the point of view of quantity as well as quality. From the quantity, of course, I can say overall average, if I can take, it is around 72 to 73% students are having smartphones, they are having these laptops and other related facilities. So somehow they are managing, they are engaged with all these issues, and they are attending the classes which is going on online or on a different portals. So that is the quantity which I can say people are in touch with the teachers and touch with the various issues which is related to higher education. But from the quality point of view, definitely I can say from many years, the students are ahead from all of what we have studied in the earlier years. Because now with the click of the button, they are getting a lot many information. But it is also true that it is a information as well as the knowledge they are getting. But how to go ahead with the knowledge, to understand how to analyze it, how to come to the conclusion, for that teacher is needed. Teacher is always very important part in the education. It cannot be replaced by online. Even if it is being like online classroom learning, it is always important that you must discuss various issues or the vital issues in the education, and therefore maybe this COVID maybe for 6 months or some time more also, but in the long term, I should say the teachers will be still important, and one-to-one discussion will be very much fruitful for for the students' quality, as well as teachers can learn a lot out of that. But in coming years, even after some mildness in COVID-19, we can say we should go for the blended education system. Like we can start from 20%, we can have online and 80% offline. Sometimes when the COVID impact is more, or maybe it lasts long, it can be 50-50, 40-60, whatever is possible. But this particular thing which we have learned from this COVID-19 will not go, because this has become a part and parcel in the higher education system. Similarly, for the research activities, and when I said it's a mentor-mentee relationship and analysis we're supposed to do, in that it is a hard work where we have to contact each other and understand the meaning of each and everything, say from right from the definition to going through the formulas to different graphs to understanding the importance of even you can say the lab work. It is all necessary. It has become a part of Indian higher education system. So therefore, this is the part which we have to accept, and we have accepted very graciously, I should say, in very fast, into 2-3 months, we have just turned out ourselves as a techno-savvy persons, and IT has given us a lot of input in this area. And therefore, I feel in such a system, the role of teachers are very, very important. Teachers has to be prepared themselves as the best academicians. Rather, they should be best analysts. They should understand what students are gaining at this point of time, and what I should be ahead of all these things. So the teacher, if perfect, if the teacher is going to be that everything, that knowledge he or she is gaining should support the students in future life. So that is the place which we have to understand the higher education. Another point which I would like to say, which is now coming in education, as well as now everyone, even the UGC, NAC, and every area is covering, that we should go for yoga, meditation, then food and nutrition, progression of various IT sector, science and technology. These things, especially computer sciences, these are the areas which has not even identified, but it has been given importance, stress also to adopt. So therefore, yoga has also become a day-to-day life. And it is being demanded by various people. Why should you not be a part of daily process of yoga? And it should be a part of higher education as well. Then similarly, for food and nutrition, it has also become very important. Earlier, we were eating outside and all that. So that part is also come under the education, how to give the proper education to the students. And as such, I would like to tell you, the Solapur University has started a nutritional course, that is a therapeutic nutrition course, 1-year PG diploma. We have started 2 years back, but now we have started with the online education system, and it is working very good. So it means that what should be the COVID food, what nutritionist and dietitian area is demanding, that is very, very important. Even the languages, many languages, our old language Sanskrit and other languages, how to use those languages in this system, because that is the power, that is the I can say the deployment which we're supposed to give through the powerful language. So that is also become very, very important. Then another part is, of course, agriculture and rural sector. I think as an part of economics, I should say, we are focusing in these areas from last 50 to 55 years. We are always waiting when this sector will be powerful. And suddenly we have seen that after COVID, a very big importance, a huge importance has been given to the rural and agro-based industries, agriculture and rural areas, as well as, I should say, the words of APJ Abdul Kalam. He said, Pura should be adopted. the provision of urban amenities in rural areas. So that type of things which we can set up well in our education system, higher education. I think the problem of this migration, maybe this time migration is different, it is reverse migration, but can we stop the migration from rural to urban area? That can be tackled very well. Because if you are providing good facilities in rural areas or in the rural education system, then it will become definitely important for people to stay over there. I know it cannot be turned out in a day or two. It will need 1 year or maybe more than that. But some process should be started by higher educationists. And I can see that government has given incubation centers in which we can definitely think that how entrepreneurship can be developed in agro-based system or agro-industrial tie-ups or various areas where the inputs of agriculture can be utilized for betterment of or the development of industries as well as the service sectors. So this is the combination or the coordination as well as the correlation between all these sectors in which higher education can do a lot. And therefore, the thinking about the development of agriculture should become a part and parcel of all universities. Only agricultural universities are teaching something that is not sufficient. We should have such type of programs which can be useful for agricultural sectors. Again, I will cite one small example of skill industries, which were skill courses which I have taken up in the university, that is agrotourism. Because most of the area in this district is agro-based, and therefore they have big farmhouses. In some of the months, they have nothing to do or not much to do. So in that particular period, if we can convert some portion or some land into agrotourism, that that can become a good source of earning. So this type of thinking may be very important from the point of view of development of agriculture system. As well as agriculture is also related to so many activities, which is not only the farming and all that, it is also related to R&D. Some research can be done for the better cropping pattern, cropping system, how to develop the species and all that. So this is the thing which we can definitely do. Computer technology can play a big role in the development of rural India as well as the agriculture. Because in many areas, especially I can take the example of Israel as well as Japan. And in some of the portions of India also, in Punjab or in Gujarat also, we have seen that new technologies has been introduced, like we can say image processing, drone technology. So they have been entering in this area. Why? Because they can get first-hand information, correct information, fast information, and therefore they can have a better life compared to what they are having at present. So if this type of things we can educate our young people, they will get a chance to get employment over there itself. So whatever I have said, they need not to migrate from rural area to urban area just to have a bread and butter of 10,000, 15,000 or 20,000. So they can earn the same amount here itself at their doorstep. So this is the thing which we can definitely think it of. So IT sector, computer section can play a definitely big role, and apps can also be developed. The present encounter we are facing with China, we can say this is a right time. Many IITians and many people are working very well, and therefore these people can help rural sector as well as the agro-based areas, the farmers, the agro-based industrialists. They can definitely help in different ways. So these apps can also be very useful, and these young students love technology. They adopt technology so fast. So why not to go with that? Your sir institution is also based on that. We can have a lot of scope to develop such type of activities. Similarly, this can be important for development of commerce and management system. E-commerce is playing a big role. E-NAM is there, and in E-NAM we have seen a lot of potential has been given by the government. Similarly, for the managing various things and become a better commercial sectors, this rural sector can play a big role. Definitely, or similarly I should say, this COVID-19 has also told us that we need not to depend only on the service sectors. So whatever the planning program we are doing for the service sector, that is not only issue which is contributing to GDP, but it is also important that similarly, as I have talking about the agriculture, we have to think about the development of industries. Lot of industries can be very useful, how to start in India, how to make good entrepreneurs over there. And this entrepreneurship need to be inculcated, that habit need to be inculcated through the universities or through the higher education institutions. So incubation center like one area, then adopting various technologies to understand that how these incubation centers can be done, how you can go for entrepreneurship. And people are now saying, earlier we used to have a lot of entrepreneurs in every house, everywhere it is like that. So local based issues we can definitely think of, which is very, very important from the point of view of development of local industries. Some local industries have literally gone out or vanished because of the multinational corporations and all that. So can higher education think that what is your local need? Like in Solapur University, textile industry is the most important industry. Now it has been taken up by different industries like ready-made garments, and people have shifted to different areas. But handloom was the most important part, like it was a Manchester of India. So we should go back and to understand how we can modernize it, and people can stay over there. They should not migrate to Pune, Mumbai, Delhi and all these areas. So education can definitely play a very, very big role in this area. So this is the area which we are thinking that how employment can increase, how it can be employment oriented, and employability. So that's why for employability enhancement, I would like to say about skill development courses. It has been always said that you are expert in one field, but you always have a liking for some different fields. Suppose you are a good person in chemistry, but you can have a liking for music, you can have a liking for dramatics. So these type of things has to be developed. Even within that system or within that discipline, you can develop lot many things. So that will enhance the personality of the student. The psychologist and scientist says that we have left and right brain. So if one brain is engaged in one sort of faculty, another brain can have a scope to develop the other faculty. So if the both brains are working, it will be very good for the student to get better employment, better I should say the self-employment activities, and that type of young people we need in India. And therefore we have to think about the livelihood matters more. As life is important, this particular area is going with life versus livelihood. So what is important? Life is also important, lives are important, and livelihoods are also important. So how to balance between lives and livelihood, this is the most important part, where higher education has a scope or goals we can set up in coming years. So as I have said, teachers has to be very active. Teachers supposed to understand what COVID brought changes in higher education, and teachers have to change accordingly, because if the teacher will change, the students will change, and teacher will never have a replacement. So better teacher, quality teacher, innovative, creative based teacher will be very, very important. Last just 2 minutes, I will talk on the research, whatever the time that you have given to me. Research is also very important area, and for research activities, capacity building for the research, capacity building for the different activities which I have said. But it is very important to think more on the research. University has a big role to play in the research, and rather very important, crucial role to play in the research areas. Gone are the days when we have to say that only in one subject I am doing the research and in a particular specialization I am doing. Now it is the area when we are thinking of the multidisciplinary research and the transdisciplinary research. Even the HRD ministry is also providing a lot of information, lot of schemes are are there, and this type of research will be definitely important to get lot of information from not only for the researcher, but it will be useful for the society, because the last outcome of the research is what? To help the society. And therefore that type of thinking we should come out, and we should say that it is outcome based research, which is of course may be related to one subject, but how it can be gradually important for multidisciplinary and the transdisciplinary sectors. And therefore this type of combination will be highly useful for the development of our society or any society. Therefore, to understand how to develop the capacity in research area, so I would like to say only one thing, that research is actually inbuilt, but how, in which way you have to go, how to develop the capacity, that is the thing which the model we have to develop. Any university or every university can develop its own unique model, and therefore we can move ahead with the betterment of the society. I think whatever the time has given to me, I have completed that. So lot many things to say, but I want to cover as much as possible. So I will stop here. And thank you very much again, Uttarwar sir, for inviting me in this particular session. Thanks a lot. Sir, your mic is mute. Uttarwar sir, your mic is make it unmute. उत्तरवर सर तुमचा माइक अनम्यूट करा.
हॅलो, आवाज येतोय?
हा आता येत आहे. हा
ओके ओके. सो अगेन आय विल रिपीट. I am very much thankful to Mrinalini madam. A mind-blowing webinar you have delivered here, and the points and the topics which you have raised here, I personally didn't think in that direction, that how the post-graduation may be changed, or the new arena to be given to the post-graduation education. So I am very much thankful, madam, that we have enlightened with your word of wisdom, and very nicely and precisely what I mean to say, very nicely and precisely, you have touched a lot many issues. You have not touched only 2-3 issues, but you have covered lot many issues very precisely and very nice words. So now there are Dr. Kamal Singh madam is also with us. Kamal Singh madam, we require 2-3 some words of wisdom from you also. And in last 1 minute, our Vice Principal Nilesh Bodne will propose vote of thanks. Bodne sir, I will tell you. Wait. Bodne sir, wait, I will tell you.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, love to hear Kamal Singh madam.
Over to Kamal Singh madam. हॅलो, कमर सिंग मॅडम ऐकताय ना? एक मिनिट, कुठे गेलाय मॅडम?
त्यांचा माईक तर ऑफ आहे. नाही, ऑन आहे, ऑन आहे.
ऑन आहे ना?
हा, ऑन आहे. आता दुसरं घेऊन घ्या तोपर्यंत कोणी.
हा, दुसरं कोणी स्पीकर मॅडमला विचारायचं आहे काही दुसऱ्या पार्टिसिपंट? हरिकुमार नायडू सर, हरिकुमार नायडू सर.
त्यांचा मायक्रोफोन ऑफ आहे.
नाही, पण त्यांनी ऐकलं असेल, काय माहिती ऐकले की नाही माझं बोलणं. आणि मला वाटतं कमल सिंग मॅडमनी पण नाही ऐकलंय. ओके सर. मॅडम माझाच एक प्रश्न होता. माझ्याकडे एमटेक आहे मॅडम, म्हणजे पोस्ट ग्रॅज्युएशन जे आहे ते एमटेक कम्प्युटर्स मध्ये आहे, एमटेक इलेक्ट्रिकल मध्ये आहे, एमटेक आणि इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स मध्ये आहे. तर तुम्ही मला काय सल्ला द्याल मॅडम, म्हणजे या मी कशा पद्धतीने कोविडच्या रिलेटेड काही चेंजेस करावे की काय करावं? तुमचा स्पीकर बंद आहे.
आपण जसं जनरल बोललो की आपल्याला ऑनलाईन तर जावंच लागेल आहे. आणि मला असं वाटतं सर, आपण ऑनलाईन अप्रेंटिसशिप आणि ऑनलाईन ट्रेनिंग करता पण प्रयत्न करावा. त्याचं कारण असं की
माझा पूर्ण स्टाफ मॅडम ऑनलाईन आहे, तुम्हाला ऐकतोय.
ओके ओके
तुम्हाला
ओके
स्पेसिफिकली विचारला की
ओके
सोन्याच्या
ओके
हाताने कान टोचले गेले व्यवस्थित टोचले जातात.
बरं बरं. नाही तर मला सगळ्या तुमच्या स्टाफला असं म्हणायचंय की आपण थोडंसं प्रोएक्टिव्ह याकरता व्हायला पाहिजे
हा
की वी शुड कॉल ऑल द इंडस्ट्रीज ऑनलाईन ऑल्सो. ते
Yes.
सध्या वेळ द्यायला पण तयार आहे. आमचा पण असा अनुभव आहे की ज्यांना आपण अगदी जे ग्लोबल प्लेयर्स आहे पासून लोकल प्लेयर्स जे आहेत
हा
त्यांना आपण जरूर कॉन्टॅक्ट करा, अरेंज देअर सेशन्स आणि मुलांना सांगा की तुम्ही अप्रेंटिसशिप पण ऑनलाईन होऊ शकते. आमच्याकडे इथे एक इंजिनिअरिंग कॉलेज आहे, त्याच्यानंतर मुंबईच्या पण काही मी इंजिनिअरिंग कॉलेजच्या लोकांना आता भेटले तर
बर
त्यांनी असा 1 महिन्याचा काही वेळ निश्चित करून घेतलेला आहे की हा वेळ आम्ही विद्यार्थ्यांना देणार. आणि काही जे विद्यार्थी किंवा त्यांचे पालक किंवा पालक म्हणण्यापेक्षा टीचर्सच पहिले तर ते हे झाले जॉईन झाले तर तेव्हा त्यांनी छोटे छोटे व्हिडिओज वरनं पण त्यांना प्रॅक्टिकल दाखवलं. अर्थात याची लिमिटेशन्स आहे, आय डोंट डिनाय, ते तर राहणारच आहे, पण तरी आपण बऱ्याच गोष्टी शिकू शकतो. आपला हा जो वेळ आहे तो वेस्ट जाणार नाही. सो यू शुड युटिलाइज दिस टाइम फॉर better understanding by watching, because that is also the listening and watching is also very powerful tool in education. तर मग आपल्याला त्यांना जर रिक्वेस्ट केली, सपोज तुम्ही एक 5 तुमच्या इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स मध्ये किंवा तुमचे आणखी जे फील्ड आपण सांगितले त्याच्यामध्ये तुम्ही 5 इंडस्ट्रीज ना केलं आणि आता तर तुम्हाला नागपूरलाच फक्त करायची गरज नाहीये. यू कॅन टॉक विथ इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट दोज हू फ्रॉम दिल्ली. हा एक मोठा स्कोप आहे, कारण की पहिले तर तुम्ही तुमच्या जवळपास मुलांना पाठवू शकत होता. आता तुम्हाला तो जो 1 तास देतील 2 तास देतील त्याच्याकरता तुम्हाला यू वाइडर युअर हरायझन, ज्याच्यामधनं तुम्ही अक्षरशः काश्मीर ते कन्याकुमारी पर्यंत बेस्ट जे आहेत ते पण येऊ शकतात. इव्हन द टाटा कन्सल्टन्सी हे खूप मोठ्या प्रमाणात द्यायला लागली आहे. आणि मला वाटतं आपण ज्या ज्या फील्डमध्ये आपण स्पेशलायझेशन आहे त्या फील्डची लिस्ट घेऊन आणि त्यांच्या जर जे कोणी सीईओज आहे त्यांचे लक्ष त्यांच्या त्या प्रोजेक्टकडे लक्ष देणारी लोक आहेत त्यांना आपण जरूर कॉन्टॅक्ट करावा. आणि मला वाटतं ते सगळे इनपुट्स आपण घेऊन जर विद्यार्थ्यांनी त्याचा प्रोजेक्टही तयार केला तर इट कॅन बी कॉल्ड एज ऑनलाईन प्रोजेक्ट, नॉट एन इश्यू, कारण की तशी स्थिती आहे म्हणून. बट यू शुड युटिलाइज दिस युअर एंटायर इंटलॅक्ट फॉर अंडरस्टँडिंग व्हॉट इज गोइंग ऑन डिफरंट प्लेसेस. तर जे समजा फॉर एक्झाम्पल जस्ट तुमच्याकडे आहे की नाही ते तुम्ही बघा, पण सिव्हिल इंजिनिअरिंग असेल, आता चायनाकडनं आपण ज्या काही गोष्टी नाही म्हटल्या ज्या आपल्याकडे आहे त्याची वेगवेगळी गोष्टी दाखवल्या. आता रोड करता पण आपण पाहिलं की त्यांच्या इन्व्हेस्टमेंट काढून घेतलंय. तर पहिले चायना काय करत होता, आता काय होतं, मुलांना तो एक इन्साइट येऊन जाईल की आपण काय करू शकतो याचा थोडासा विचार आपल्याला करता येईल. हा सुद्धा एक बेस्ट पिरियड आहे टू अंडरस्टँड अँड लिसन लॉट ऑफ नॉलेज फ्रॉम डिफरंट फील्ड्स.
थँक्यू, थँक्स अ लॉट मॅडम, थँक्स अ लॉट. I request Professor Nilesh Bodne to propose vote of thanks, who is the Vice Principal of our college.
Respected Principal Sir, Dr. S.S. Uttarawar Sir, and our most valued invited guest for today's webinar, Dr. Mrunalini Fadnavis Madam, VC of Punya Shlok Ahilya Devi Holkar, Solapur University, and other VCs who are here in this webinar, and all teaching staff. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose vote of thanks on this occasion. I, Nilesh Bodne, Vice Principal, Vidarbha Institute of Technology, on behalf of VIT family, I would like to thank our today's guest and speaker, respected Dr. Mrunalini Fadnavis Madam, VC Solapur University, who have given valuable time and guided us. Again, I want to thank our principal sir who had taken effort and made available this platform of webinar for all of us. So once again, I want to thank you, ma'am, and thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Madam, नागपूरला कधी येणार आहात? Here I declare that webinar is come to an end. Now it's an informal discussion I want to do with Madam because there is 1 minute with me.
Yes. नागपूरला तर आता सध्या तर कोविड मध्ये निघणं शक्य नाही आहे, कारण सोलापूरची परिस्थिती फारच खराब आहे.
अच्छा
म्हणजे नुसतं रेड झोन म्हणून नाही
बर बर
किंवा तो खास स्पेशल झोन म्हणून नाही, तर प्रत्येक नूक अँड कॉर्नर मध्ये कोरोना पसरलाय.
हा
आमचे 5 सहकारी अफेक्टेड आहे.
अच्छा
तर आम्हाला फार डिफिकल्ट डेज आहेत. आम्ही फार जास्त केअर घेतोय.
अगदी
पण
बरोबर.
सोलापूरला आता राहणं योग्य आहे.
नाही बरोबर
सगळे
एवढं
सल्ला
काय मॅडम,
देतात की बिलकुल
तब्येत
ट्रॅव्हल करू नका आणि बिलकुल कुठे जाऊ नका, असं सगळे सल्ला देतात.
तब्येत महत्वाची आहे. जहान आहे तो जहान आहे. बघू आपण डिसेंबर नंतर नाही का.
एक्झॅक्टली एक्झॅक्टली.
चला, आय थँक ऑल ऑफ यू ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ आवर चेअरमन.